Hello, everybody. My name's Dreamboat. I'm here with here, and we're back for more ozfortress action. We're in ozfortress 15, and we're gonna bring you Ego versus Home Alone. How are you doing, Fear?
I'm doing really well, Dreamboat. I'm looking forward to some more quality Australian TF2. Feels like I'm saying that a lot this week.
Well, there has been, funnily enough, a lot of quality Australian TF2. It makes it really easy to be excited about it with just how many great games we've had, this week, past weeks, and how many there are to look forward to in this season. Now,
Yeah,
that's a lot of looking forward and looking back. Let's focus on the present here, Fear. And we're bringing Home Alone and Ego. I'm calling them Ego. I know that they're
it's
Ego,
ego,
but I want to call them.
egocentric.
They're the waffles. It's the Ego waffles. Lego my Ego. No? Okay,
No.
maybe by the end of this I can slide over to calling them Ego. But let's focus on this game. Tell our viewers about these two teams.
Okay, so the first team we have, ego, short for egocentric, is sort of what team immunity of sort of Australian law has turned into. So we have building around the core three of Yuki on Pocket Soldier, Turbo and Dermaman, and Aporia on Roma. We have the new additions of Jersh on Medic, transitioning over from Prem Pocket. We have Faithless, who's quite an old Australian scout, and we have Namey, who's in his first season of Australian Prem. And so they're currently, most people would predict them to be the second best team. I think they're just behind Jasmine T in terms of ability. And I think they're looking over the course of this season to get up to regain their number one ranking that they held for so many years. The other team we have is Home Alone. Home Alone is much more of a new team. And it's players who really we haven't seen in ozfortress up to this point, and we haven't seen them in Prem. And so on Pocket, we have CKM. On Medic, I'm actually not sure who their Medic is. Probably shouldn't have started with that. Anyway, on Pocket we have CKM, who is he's a new player to Prem. Actually, he did play one season with the RAC team, and he had some communication problems with that team, and so they sort of parted by mutual disagreement, and he's now playing for Home Alone. Home Alone is medicked by Red Hawk. They have Yui on Scout, who I think is a particularly important player to talk about. Most people would consider Yui to be one of the top 3 or 4 players scouts in ozfortress at the moment. He's got incredible DM. He's an incredible OSU player, and apparently he's actually started main calling for this team, which is like a really big deal to have a scout main caller. The last team that I can remember doing it, I think, was like old Froyo Tech when Banny was playing scout. But anyway, so that's just a little bit of a quirky fact. They have Merciless on Roma, who's sort of a new Australian, but definitely not a new TF2 player. They have, who am I missing now? They're missing a scout, I think.
I think you are missing a scout.
I'm drawing a complete blank on their second scout. Oh, sorry. Their demo man is Ryan, aka Gooseman, like a strong DM demo. Can play almost every class in and around a Prem DM level. Quite experienced, but still hasn't really proven himself at the very pinnacle of Australian TF2. There's always sort of been a bit something missing, whether it's in his communication with his team, whether it's in his coordination with his team, or whether it's just in sort of being out-aimed by other Prem demos. He's coming to this game with something to prove. And so far in Prem, this team's been doing like an exceptional job of proving themselves. So obviously, most people last week, I think Foslam, who does the power rankings for Australia, ranked them 3rd or 4th, and they're in a battle for that position with Cooking with Coolio and Can't Stop the Trump. In the first week, they split maps with Can't Stop the Trump. I suppose technically they won because they won 6-3, 3-4. I mean, they won on round difference. But that was like a great result for them to start the season off. And I think they've really been looking to tonight's game as a big opportunity to sort of show everyone that they're serious about challenging, not just for a playoff spot, but for a spot in the grand final.
That is true. We are looking at one of the teams that I think, barring some of these upsets, I think we're expecting to be in the grand finals. I think if you asked around, a lot of people would say that it would be Jasmine T and Ego. Had to stop myself there. I was almost gonna have a Sir Scoots Australis Australius moment. But I think that would be the expected out. Now, you're right though. These three teams, you listed three that really could compete and see if they can really do it. And I think this is going to be the first real test for one of them. Just kind of prove that, hey, they belong in that conversation for season ending. So.
Yeah, well, it's always a big deal to make Prem playoffs, and I feel like there are sort of 5 teams with a realistic shot of doing it this season, which is always much more interesting, because in this way, basically it means that I know it sounds harsh, but someone's got to miss out. You know, one of those teams won't be joining us come like playoffs time. And I feel like it adds an extra level of competition during the season. So now people aren't just competing, you know, to see where they'll seed in playoffs, to see whether they can avoid the number 1 team by coming 3rd instead of 4th. Now they're actually competing, like, just to stay alive. And I much prefer that. I think it gives all of these games that we have in the regular season a lot of importance. And I feel like it's sorry. I just remembered that I've missed their last scout, and it is Reut, or I think he now goes by B25. Very solid DM player on a lot of classes. Hasn't got much experience at the top level on Scout, although he's definitely been here on Pocket. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he can apply his DM to this game. I feel like Yuri and Reut are 2 scouts who can basically match almost any scout duo in Australia in terms of raw aim. Whether or not they'll be able to use it effectively remains to be seen. But I'm really excited for what Home Alone could bring tonight. I feel like we could be in for a much closer game than some people expect.
You make a good point about using that DM. There's a difference between that scout that can hit everything but repeatedly feeds and is in terrible positioning, and one that uses his brain and hits shots. So I guess it'll be which of the scouts shows up for this match for both teams is whether how much they use their brain.
Well, I think that there is probably going to have to be quite a bit of brain work in tonight's game, just because we're playing Sunshine, which is obviously, we've been saying for seasons that teams don't really practice Sunshine, just because, like, you know, it was a new map. Well, now it's really been in the rotation for quite a few seasons, but we still see the fact that no one really plays Sunshine in Pugs. No one really scrims on Sunshine. So despite it being like a relatively old map now, we have like a lot of inexperience, I'd like to say, on the map. And I think that could be sort of exploited a bit, I feel. If one of the teams, I'm not sure how much these teams have been scrimming. I merked Med at 8 o'clock for Ego, and I learned that they hadn't been playing Sunshine much. So it's possible that if Home Alone have worked out that their best chance to take a map is by consistently practicing Sunshine, that we could see a very interesting game on it.
That is true. Even though it is probably still my favorite map in the rotation, it takes that fight with Snakewater quite consistently. It really isn't played, and it's honestly, to me, a shame. A lot of people complain, they complain about the optimization issues, which have been fixed for, I think, 4 versions now. Among other things that they complain about that really a lot of them got fixed. There are still some complaints about the map, but it's nowhere near as bad and as unplayable as a lot of people say it is. And quite frankly, I think it's no longer one of the worst maps in many leagues' rotations. I mean, Metalworks, I think, takes the cake for NA at least. I think you guys have finally phased Metalworks out.
Yeah, it's done.
But, I think Granary has to be up there too, to be honest. I think it's a much better map than Granary.
During the box map.
I'm not just saying that because that's where we are right now. Breaking news!
Breaking news. I said before that Young Gamer CKM would be playing Pocket for Home Alone, but it actually looks like they're going to be using a Merc. They're going to be using controversial New Zealand Pocket, as I believe he's now known, Rocky, who is, obviously, if you watched the cast on Wednesday, you got to watch 11 Corners play Can't Stump the Trump. At 11 corners, probably, I think most people would consider their best player to be Rocky. He's sometimes criticised for his sort of lack of general game awareness and his desire to rely on pure DM. But at the same time, I don't think anyone can talk about Rocky in a discussion that doesn't involve just acknowledging the fact that his aim is really, really insane. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fits into sort of playing a new style. And I think that if I were playing for Ego, I'd really be looking not to just try to pug this game, because I feel like a pug style is really going to play right into the hands of some of the DM lords on Home Alone.
That said, there are quite a bit of DM gods, as it were, sitting on that Ego team. So, I mean, even if it goes into a puggy style, while that definitely plays into the favor of Home Alone, there's certainly...
Yeah.
It's not like Ego's just gonna be like, well, they're just DM gods, we can't do it. But no, they've got the DM definitely counter that. But you are absolutely right in saying that it's gonna play stronger into Home Alone.
Yeah.
So
I don't think you can ever write off a team with players like Yuki, players like Termo, players maybe even like Namie now, who are like quite strong individual DM players. Faithless as well, I've noticed. When he turns it on, like, not in terms sounds like I'm saying he's cheating. When he like turns it on in terms of just like he's running hot or he's having a good streak of form, he can really be one of the most devastating scouts in Australia. And although he has been sort of called out in the past for maybe being a bit inconsistent, sometimes having really strong games, sometimes seemingly like overextending a lot and being caught out for an entire map, which is really unfortunate. But I think that this game is really Ego's to lose. And I feel like if they play to their potential, then they should take it. However, I do think that it's going to be closer. Like, some people have been saying, oh yeah, it'll be like a big roll in favor of Ego. I really doubt this game will be a straight up roll. I think it'll be much closer, and I'm not gonna say a number just yet, just because I want to watch how. Like, I just want to wait till I'm feeling it a tiny bit more.
Oh, come on, Fear! Stop being a little bit. Let's hear a number out of you. Let's hear a number. Be a man.
Like, Jordan, I can give you two numbers. It's going to be 4-2 to the first map. Hang on. I want to make a really, really bold prediction. Oh no, it's got to be 4-2 to Ego. It's got to be 4-2 to Ego.
Okay.
I was this close to reversing them. I was this close to reversing those scores.
Alright, well that's one map. The other one.
Sunshine, I think it will be. I think it won't be. It won't be that close if Ego win it. I think if Ego win it, then it goes 4-1 or 5-0. But I think if Home Alone win it, it'll be 3-2.
See, part of me just wants to go like all Thorin on this and just be like, oh, they don't have a chance. They're playing too much experience here. 5-0, 5-0. No, I think it's gonna be a lot closer than that. Although I think it'd be kind of funny if, now that I joked about that, it actually was a 5-0. I'm gonna go maybe for the painfully optimistic call and say that it's going to be 5-1 on process, but 4-3 for Home Alone. They're gonna take Sunshine to split maps. And you can call me out on that one if you want.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I definitely think that we're going to see, like, it's so hard to predict what's going to happen on Sunshine, because I feel like if Home Alone have clued into the fact that Ego would be weak on the map, then there's definitely a lot of potential for them to, like, that's an upset map, really. That's what, it's like, what is called in other sports. That's a map which provides a lot of potential for an upset, because both teams don't play much. But at the same time, I feel like if Home Alone hasn't practiced it at all, then this is going to go really heavily in favor of Ego. So it's hard to know until we see a strong first map from both teams. The players to watch on both teams, who do you think will be a key fragger in this game, or just a key player in general, Dreamboat?
I mean, I think I speak on behalf of all North Americans when I say Termo Yuki for you. Like, I think that's just the American answer because, or in my case, the Canadian answer, because those are the guys we've seen on the international stage perform incredibly. On the other side, actually looking to see how Red Hawk performs. He's on Medic, and well, you know, Medic's not really a class that you look to just like frag out of everybody. It's the kind of team that the kind of player that I'm looking to keep themselves alive against such strong competition. Red Hawk's ability to survive is going to be so crucial in his team pulling this one out here.
Yeah. I actually have some more breaking news for those who are as yet unaware. I mentioned before that B25 or Reut would be playing Scout for the red team, so for Home Alone. It's actually going to be Jaiho, which is quite an interesting choice. I feel Jaiho, he's a pocket main. For those who follow Australian TF2, he played for Smug last season. But I've seen him play a few times on Scout, and he's actually impressed me with how sort of coordinated he's able to be with his team. His aim is also like remarkably good, like really unexpectedly strong on the class. So I also think that he's maybe not an upgrade from B25 on Scout, but at the very least a side grade. So it'll be something else interesting to consider.
Worth noting indeed. So now we're just kind of waiting. We're sitting here. We've got all 12, I should say, all 6 from each team in the server here. They're jumping around, juking around, having a jolly old time as the Poria absolutely crushes the man named Chubby Korean Dumpling with a nice air shot there. But we're just, you know, hanging out, looking to see where this match goes. We should go live fairly quickly here. I'm hoping, for those wondering.
Yeah, I think we'll still have a few minutes to go before we start to see the readies up. I think both teams are just content to sort of maybe just relax a bit. I know the Ego guys just played a scrim against Jasmine, and they put up quite a strong fight, although they did lose, so probably more rounds than they would have liked, and maybe they were like a bit down after that. But anyway, it looks like we're gonna go live. 5 seconds.
We got a mid.
We got a mid.
Have a mid. Who are you gonna watch on this mid?
We're not gonna have a mid. They've mucked up the config.
Yay! We did it. Well, that's always fun.
On the bright side, Rocky it's actually maybe one of the first mids in a while that we haven't seen Rocky throw his life away.
I mean, he didn't get the opportunity to.
That's the joke.
I know. I like breaking your jokes. Like, I feel like I'm the Henry G. or Sadakist here. Like, you're just gonna make these jokes, and I'm just gonna make sure that they always just fall flat. At the same time, I'm gonna try and make as many bad Sadakist-esque jokes as I can. Gotta pay tribute to my fellow Canadian. And I can't tell if we're having another.
And they may have stuffed up the config again. So some of these players have been playing TF2. I think Yuki has a grizzled veteran badge from December the 1st, 2007, and so far they are still struggling to execute the configs on an ozfortress server. It should be noted that Team Immunity first won OWL in OWL 2. Now we are no longer OWL, we are ozfortress Seasonal League, but the number after it is 15 at an interval of about 4 years. So we'd hope that we'll be able to do it by now.
And, you know, maybe, like, his time off and having hit the international scene, becoming, like, such a big face of Australian TF2, he got, like, so high on himself that he's like, hey, I don't have to deal with servers anymore. That's on someone else. They should, like, treat me as a king and respect me and, like, do my servers for me. Maybe that's where he's feeling here. Oh, it's Kenneth. Apparently, I've got a little Kenneth talking in my ear, telling me that he threw.
So, yeah, I was just about to comment and make another joke and say that the name of Yuki's team is currently Ego. So that's a very fortuitous meme from you, but it turns out that it wasn't any of the players' faults. Turns out it was an error on the server side with us. So we apologize and really probably regret making jokes about it at this stage. Now we just look stupid.
Yeah, and I think they're still gonna try before they realize that it actually was Kenneth throwing here. But I mean, what can you expect out of our faithless admin but a little bit of throws? Better to get them out of the way early in the season than, you know, in playoffs, right?
Yeah. Well, hang on, I haven't done my MVPs for the game yet. I've got to quickly do them. The MVPs are going to be Termo and Yui from other team.
I say it's gonna be Yuki and Yui just to screw with me. I'm already gonna have enough trouble with this one as it is. But we actually have rollouts here. We might actually have a mid fight. Termo a lot faster here, and oh my goodness, he just crushes Guzman. That's good. Goodbye mid fight.
Yeah.
Termo. Everybody meet Termo, the guy who won everybody's hearts by absolutely dominating at I-52. And, well, he hasn't left off with his gap. And now we have a fight coming into choke here. Huge bomb coming in. Mercy gets taken out really quickly. Yuki's going to go down on the other side to Jaiho. Now we're just having a fight around here. Termo taken out, though, with Faithless.
Yui.
So this is actually kind of going everywhere. And, oh, Aporio, he's going to get 2 nice rockets there. And with Faithless cleaning up Yui, this is looking very bad for Home Alone as Goose is alone. And the Goose is actually gonna get a pack and get out. I thought it was I was gonna make Goose's Home Alone joke thing here, but I mean he actually got out alone and he's okay now. He has friends. His family found him. He's no longer Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin, a name we all remember first from the childhood movies and secondly from the rehabilitation clinics. But hopefully,
I was gonna say from being a pedophile, but like he looks like one. Let's be reasonable.
They're going to be pushing into lobby. We are going to see probably a soldier demo or a scout demo Uber coming out. Looks like they're going to try to force their way in door 5. Taking so much space in. They're going to Uber quite early. It looks like they're trying to take down the sentry gun. Is going to get taken out, but still so far no kills onto the players. Rocky down to 44. He should be dropped right here. But Apori and Yuki open the frags. Jaiho and Rocky down. And but 2 responses from Mercy and Yui. You're going to see this scout in onto the medic. He's dancing around Faithless. Pistols him down, and the first round is going to go to Ego.
I'd just like to say I did say it was going to be 5-0 for Untitled.
I just like to say that you have to believe.
It's a good start. It's a good start. That's all I'm saying.
Let's
I'm looking to see if
mid.
Termo. Yeah, I'm looking to see if he's just going to come out here and just absolutely crush on that one again.
He's going to go. He's so slow.
He's so fast. Oh, I know I'm laughing. I just feel so bad. Termo's like on mid before he comes to choke. But we actually have the fight coming down. Faithless goes down quickly. So does Jersh with Rocky, the only death so far. So this is actually looking good. Maybe down 2. He does trade off Mercy, but it's actually a fairly good Home Alone mid here. And they continue it up here. Jaiho's going to crush up for you. But a huge bomb from Termo.
Jaiho's going to die. Oh
no. Red Hawk will live.
Gooseman came up really big, or sort of Ryan, with those last 3 kills, but I'm not sure if the stream caught it, but Jaiho was dancing in the air, like, trying to get back to kill the scout. I think he forgot which weapon he had out, because he 3-rune bladed himself and just died from the bleed damage. 100% Ubrad in favour of Home Alone. They're just going to get this cap on mid for a second. Can I just say how effective Mercy's bomb was on that mid? That was really impressive. And it looks like maybe they're trying to go duel 1. I'm going to say...
Well, they have to deal with the namey sniper here. I mean,
and engineer.
Yuki's used to sheep sniper, but I don't know how namey compares in terms of that. But we have the Uber popped out here. They actually pick off Yuki and Aporia while dropping Jaiho, so that's kind of a scout they didn't want to drop here. But they haven't gotten the gun either. Gun finally taken out, but still Termo is alive. Jersh is up on 80% here, and this is not looking too good. Although what can these soldiers do? They've got a lot of space here. Mercy's actually going to take it out. And now these scouts are coming up huge. Naming Faithless. Get 1, get 2, get 3. And
Rocky!
Well,
almost pulls it out with 3 kills at the end there.
Watch out for Jaiho. No, he's gonna just back out. Well, he could frag Aporia here, though, and he almost gets himself fragged. As I say that. Oh well.
Yeah, they could probably contest this. I don't know why they're not contesting. It's only 2 up for immunity so far. They could give up 2 frags. This could actually be really bad. Yuki is going to get caught out of position. I think he was probably a bit overly optimistic, trying to commit to that point there. I feel like Aporia did the smart thing and just backed off, and it got a bit too hairy in there. But it's opened this window. They've got 5 seconds to push before Team Immunity managed to get Yuki back. They're just going to be throwing rockets at the point. Rocky does about... Sorry, they just cap it. What?
hey, you don't need to kill people if you can stand on the point. I mean, it helps, but they didn't need to. They just proved that. So they turned in what looked like a really bad mid and then ended up being a really, really good mid into around there. So just good play overall. Thermal beef. Oh, well, he's still gonna be faster than his counterpart.
So roast from Dreamboat.
I mean, it's true. He actually got through before Goose. So he's throwing some stickies out here. No one has really done anything. Mercy is gonna trade out with Nambi, and okay, Jaiho gets Euphoria and taking out Jersh down too. Rocky getting a nice little rocket there. And with the positioning so much in favor of Home Alone, I don't see them losing this bit, especially not with the scout getting lit up there. But they could. There is a chance here. Yuki goes down, but the scout's in behind. Gets in there, he gets taken out. That's Faithless. Trying to do something.
Yeah.
And now we have full Uber advantage in the hands of Redhawk. As I did say, staying alive for him was going to be key, and we'll see if he can survive a bomb, which I'm guessing should come in from Euphoria here fairly quickly.
Yeah, I talked before about how impactful I felt Yui's aim was going to be on this game, and so far he is crushing it. 6 points above his medic, huge kills, and they're going to take this Uber in through door 1, it looks like. Rocky getting ready. They know they're coming from here. I don't really agree with this, but anyway, Rocky going to be jumping all the way across the point. They finally spot out the sentry gun. Yui may just pick up a nice frag onto Euphoria, but that's all they're going to get with that Uber. And now the situation is kind of looking quite bad for Home Alone.
Yeah, this isn't looking good. They finally get the gun, but they drop Rocky for it. Is that really worth it? Well, maybe since Goose gets Faithful. And they get Thermo here. That's Jaiho going huge. Yuki's down as well. Yui just fragging here, and they actually are going to pick up the round. Yui getting a 6K on that life.
Yeah, so I'd just like to say that several of my predictions are coming true so far in the game. I did say this would be much closer than people thought, and I was very tempted to pick 4-2. I'm really now regretting I didn't pick 4-2 for the other team, but anyway, this lives. Turbo, fast mid, going to throw out some stickies, pushing Gooseman back into this corner. He's just crushing on these rollers. He can't take any position on the right-hand side. And now, Yui and Rocky just taking off the right crate. Big jump coming in from Merciless, pushing back the soldiers. Yuki and Yui just trade these shots, but it's actually going to be Home Alone who come up with the first 2 frags. They get an Amy as well. It's only 3 left up, 2 left up now for Ego as they swarm forward across the point. Jersh should be able to escape with Turbo, but another huge mid from Home Alone.
Well, you know, Gooseman proving that you don't need speed on a rollout to win mids. Although it probably would help his team a little bit more if he could get there a little faster. He's doing overall just really good damage on these mids, and that's.
Seems like we've lost Dreamboat for a bit there. Okay, so it looks like another. This time we're actually seeing something we haven't seen before, which is a team with 100% Uber defending last.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Am I a bot?
Dreamboat?
Hi?
Are you talking?
I'm alive. Hi. Hi there. Hi. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Good. Okay. Cool. I got very scared there. I started to crash. Everything went silent. I felt I was alone. But I am no longer alone. I'm back in fear. Hi there. And we are getting set for an interesting situation. We haven't seen this one here so far. We've got that even Uber stalemate here on second. There is the Faithless gun. Which, I mean, even though his name's Faithless, I think he's got some good faith in that sentry gun, as he's just standing up and jumping on top of it. So I'm looking for the sec. Yui actually is up on Sniper. We'll see if he can kind of work that pick. Of course, Jersh is the man he's looking for, but he'd settle for just about anybody to start things off here. He's watching into that rollout.
I'd be surprised if Ego peak here. I think this is really just going to come down to Yui having to take up a more and more aggressive angle until he either dies or manages to get the shot out. And yeah, he's going to get spammed back. 43 health, and now Ego know they have a sniper. I can't imagine they'll be giving up any crucial picks in this situation. They're smart enough to know not to peek when Yui's on sniper. He's renowned as one of the top snipers in Australia. He's going to be peeking door 1. I wonder how aggressive he's going to be.
And what's behind door 1 but Euphoria? Come on, Yui, come on down. You win Euphoria's head. And he's now going to walk in here. Will he get Nami? He's getting closer too, but he's deciding where he wants to go with this one. He's peeking in through that rollout. What else will he find through door number 2?
Faithless?
He finds Faithless!
What?
Yui. Well, now we have the Ubers popped out here in exchange here. Jaiho should get caught. He's so low. He's 1 HP. He finally craters. And now Gooseman and Yui down. His Termo's just going beast mode. But there is a scout who's just on the last. That's going to delay things enough that Redhawk should get out here. Although Aporia, he's right in on him and pops him right up. But the good little surf from Redhawk's going to be enough for him to get out. But another soldier's coming right in there. That's Yuki. He frags him. Oh.
Yuki gets 2 frags. Huge play from him. Flanking through IT. Really smart decision to try to go.
It wasn't flanking through IT. That was just a fancy bomb through choke. No, Aporia had the opening bomb and he just majestically flew in there behind us. He's so capable of doing it. Put some crisp rockets in there. It was a really good play out of him. And now we have that push. Ego's just rolling through here. They pick off Gooseman on mid. Jaiho's very hurt. He's taking a 1v1 with Nami, but he's gonna come back here as Mercy's in, and he picks off Church. So that will be enough. Redhawk now has Uber advantage. It's gonna be a very big advantage. He's already at 40, and Jersh is another 10 seconds away from spawning. So he might even get he'll get pretty close to a full Uber here. So this, especially with how hard he's building, this is looking very, very good in terms of a hold for Home Alone. They might actually want to go off this too. I shouldn't say might, they probably will want to go off this.
Yeah, it's probably going to be an IT push. If I were them, I think they've got to try to. This is going to all come down to how quickly they're able to do it. I think if they go really quickly, they have a much better chance of catching Team Mooney out of position. And it looks like Rocky, he's going to jump through, gets blasted all the way up. Can he catch Turbo here? Shotgun's out. Faithless manages to clean him up, but he gets traded in return. Aporia down as well. It looks like that is all they're going to get though on mid. And now sort of Uber advantages. I wouldn't say they've been reversed, but Jersh actually only has 30% here.
That's the nice thing about how big Redhawk's advantage was, is that even though they didn't get Jersh, even though they leapfrog, they are just so close in these Ubers that another exchange, like, especially if Ego pops into them here and they back up and then just pop, they could just pop right back in rather than having to back all the way out and kind of do what we're doing here where we just have that little reset. Like, it will give them the option to just kind of exchange them, which should give them the better. And now Ego is rolling in here, and Redhawk is so close. They actually have Mercy way in there, trying to hit as many nice rockets as he can on Jersh. Jersh will live. Well, this is a good start here.
Uber.
Exactly, those Ubers are up here. Jaiho picks off Faithless too. And Aporia is so lit here. If anyone just sneezes on him, no, he gets the pack. But neither team's popped off yet, and I don't think either of them want to. This is kind of an interesting exchange we have coming down here.
Looks like Home Alone giving it up.
Yeah, I guess they really just couldn't pop it, and credit to Jersh for having balls of steel there as he got so low and just wouldn't pop. And now we should have the exchange and choke here. Rocky is popped right into it. Little early pop here, and Gooseman's caught.
Turbo, big DM, just taking that fight and winning it. And now we see him sweep forward across the point. Mercy trades out for Faithless, and we see Rocky, Jaiho combining Yuki and Nami to take him down. That's how it's just Aporia, Turbo, and Jersh crouched around this choke, desperately hoping that they don't get flanked, but it looks like none of the Home Alone players are en route, and they should be able to easily escape with their lives.
Well, the thing is they do have the tsunami of 2 scouts there. Those 2 can just kind of roll forward here, and that's exactly kind of what won them the space here. Is 2 scouts pushing in, should get the mid count. Now they have the spawn advantage, they just need to back up here. That's what they're doing, except Aporia! He hits beautiful rockets on a Redhawk, and that's going to make this really costly, especially since they drop Rocky. They need to bomb forward and get Jersh, and Mercy is just beefing all his jumps trying to get in there.
So low.
And they're all hurt and all in sewers. This is the Ego momentum here.
Yeah, they're just sweeping forward. Gooseman's going to get taken down, and look at his spawn now, 17 seconds. This could potentially be the last point. 100% Uber advantage and no demo for Home Alone. If I were them, I would just roll straight in door 1. That looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yui needs to hit the shot of the century.
Oh, he's just never going to get a chance. They use so early, but it won't matter. Sentry gun is set up. Yuki almost gets taken down by Rocky, but looks like
and the level 1, I just want to give it credit. It does frag Amy. So, power to the level 1 sentry. This point should go down here. Turbo gets pistoled out by Jaiho. And Gooseman did spawn, so now he's got Mercy and a man spamming with them. But no, they are so hurt. There it is. 2-2.
2-2. I think.
And now we have a mid fight. So are you looking for Turbo to just go really, really fast again and beat Gooseman by 5 seconds?
I think if I'm Turbo, I would keep going fast. I think this rollout is just working so well.
And Gooseman's just come through choke now. So yeah. 5.
I wouldn't say 5 seconds, but it's certainly like a big length of time. He gets basically 2 free stickies. Anyway, we're going to see both soldiers from Home Alone jump to the top right, ably supported by their scouts, but it looks like Aporia is going to be able to clean up onto Mercy. And that's a really important frag. They've got lots of position, but they haven't really got the health. Jaiho's managed to take down Faithless. Jaiho now dueling Namie. Namie is going to manage to win it, but they have all been forced out so much. Namie trying to get back in, trying to force with Turbo. They're trying to take this position, but it's just so hard. Rocky manages to take down Turbo, but Yui, the Uber comes out, and I don't think they've got it yet. Oh, they just get it just in time, but not quite in time to save Yuki. So it's going to be Aporia. Jersh gets the kill on onto Gooseman, but it looks like they're probably going to have to get out of mid.
Oh, what a rocket! That's, I mean, kind of fluky, but awesome rocket that Mercy hit there as they roll in. Aporia was jumping away. He got a nice little boost from Yui, and he got boosted right into Mercy's rocket. So Mercy got kind of a nice little midi there.
That's very
And now we have a push just rolling right through. Namie crushes Mercy. And now with Demoman, that's Turbo jumping way up top here. And will Rocky jump onto a roller? No, he's actually going to escape for now, but his team's just rolling right in there. Faithless cleans up Red Hawk. And he gets taken out finally, but the damage is done. They picked the medic.
I feel like that kill is so crushing for Home Alone, just to lose your medic so late in the fight. Now it's 100% Uber Edge, and I can't imagine they're actually going to have to use Rocket. That's a good start by starting, and Jaiho looks like he's going to try to play for the back cap. I really doubt he's going to get this, but he does draw true back to himself as a scout and a demo. Pull back towards mid, and can Jaiho win the duel here with Faithless? He's down to 10 HP. Oh, and Namie is going to come back. So there's actually 3 back at mid in the end there. So that attempted back cap is actually really, really effective. Not as a back cap, but just as a distraction.
It definitely did delay things a little bit. I don't think that's going to delay enough that Red Hawk will get full Uber here, but it's going to give him an actual shot at it, which is a lot more than he had going into it. Now they pop into him. He is at 50%, but they drop Gooseman, and he's down here too. And wow, this should be fast unless this sentry gun can go god tier, and he actually just decided to jump off it as Jaiho and Mercy combined to get a couple kills here, and he's got Yui with him. Turbo is so alone. He's got 2 scouts just in on him, but the soldier and scout coming behind.
Turbo did really well there. Just for a second, you thought that the Home Alone scouts might be able to clutch it out, but then Turbo hits a nice stick at one of the scouts. It's a nice pipe onto Yui, the other, and then obviously Faithless just running in and chipping them away until they're dead, standing on the point just before the swarm wave gets there. Another big mid.
And that is a big mid for sure. Is that early sticky there almost gets Gooseman to do a little bit of damage. Almost might have killed him there. Almost might have. But Aporia is taken out by Yui. So that's another good start to these mids here coming out from Home Alone. Now it's what can they finish off here? They pick up Namie, they pick off Yuki and Faithless. It'll be Turbo and Jersh trying to escape, but there's so many people coming after them. Mercy's one of them. He's going through rollout, and he's going to pinch him off here in lobby. He's jumping. Ooh, he jumps right into a wall is what actually happens there. But now he's in on Jersh. He hits one rocket, can't get the other, but they have mid. They will get second, and Home Alone is in good position. I think they might get second. Ooh, you're right about that one. They're coming out here. And it's going to be a scout putting so much damage in here with Turbo's follow-up, and they pick Yui off. And now Yuki's tried to come through choke, but he kind of beefed his jump. But they still get so many people.
Oh, this is such a bad Uber. Gooseman, if he gets juggled here, no, he won't. He'll be able to escape for now. But the scout, flanking in. Yuki. Oh, Aporia, he cleans up 2 frags onto Red Hawk and Gooseman. Oh, huge play coming out from the Ego Soldiers, working a great tandem play to be able to take down so many of the crucial Home Alone fraggers. Yui is able to take down Aporia, and now we have Mercy in onto the medic. He's spamming his rockets down, but it looks like Yuki will take care of him and sing him to his rest.
He didn't really even hit any rockets on Jersh either. I don't think Jersh took any damage. So, I mean, I feel kind of bad for him in that situation too. It's just, but you know what happens? You know, you can't hit both rockets to drop the medic every single time you bomb in. And if you did, you'd be looking like Seagull or something. I don't know. Even better than Seagull, you'd be like legendary, and you'd probably be vac banned. So you know, you can't feel too bad for it. We're gonna see this push coming in.
That's really good knowledge.
But ooh,
Yuki.
Mercy picked off.
That's a bit overly optimistic from him. I think they must have had really bad intelligence about where they're actually going to go. And it looks like with that, Home Alone just going to give everything up. They're trying desperately to get Uber here, but they're not going to let them. Namie, this is a great Uber. Namie in the demo, out from door 3. Yuki in on it as well. They're going to sweep forward. Red Hawk has 88% Uber. He's only got 30 health, and they're just going to stand on the point. 4-2 for Ego. And now with 10 minutes left, Ego really just need to stop winning rounds. Because otherwise the prediction will be wrong.
You're saying that they're gonna throw for 9 minutes so that your prediction's right?
Well, I've just told Yuki, like, get it done.
Oh, okay. Well, Thermo once again beats Gooseman by a good 3 seconds here, but we'll see if Ego can actually, you know, take a round here. They're playing so passively, and getting a lot of pressure put on them super early here, but no one's really done damage. Aporia finally will be taking out Faithless down too, and now this is again looking like a very good mid for Home Alone.
Okay, we've got this Mercy just sort of doing a fadeaway jump. I don't think they can really contest this too strongly. They are still like significantly down players.
Oh, Rocky! What a rocket! He takes out Jersh. It's a long range direct from like the back of 2. Hitting the medic, going through Shutter, and taking up Jersh and Thermal is so huge. They can just roll in door 1 here, which is exactly what they're doing. And there's not even going to be a demo or a med to contest them here. Aporia picked off really early. This Uber is popped out. There is a heavy and a gun. Gun goes down. Heavy is fairly hurt. They pick off Thermal off the spawn too. And now it's all up to Faithless and Yuki. What can they do? They can't stop the point. You can't stop the beat as they're just rolling in there.
Yeah, Jersh dying there with 96% Uber is so crushing, and all props to Rocky, who managed to execute a great bomb in just sweeping forward across the second point. 2 really nicely placed rockets to take him down. But if Jersh lives there, then obviously a completely different complexion on the round.
And going with the general flow of these mids, Thermo was standing on the point before Gooseman came through choke. But his team isn't faring any better here. It's once again Faithless, the first casualty on this mid. Rocky picked him off. Rocky will go down here, but Jaiho picks up Thermo. Jersh stuck in choke 2, gets taken up by the Jaiho pistol.
Jaiho.
And Yuki down too. Red Hawk's trying to escape, but wow, this is just wary a one-sided mid once again.
Huge mid, and it's going to be 100% Uber advantage for last as well. I imagine they'll have time to set up a defense this time, but it's really, really impressive stuff from Home Alone. You notice on a lot of the last mids we've seen Rocky find the first kill. I think he's been having a really strong game. And the 2 Home Alone scouts I feel also deserve a mention. Jaiho on that mid came up with 3 big kills, just flanking up the side, getting in onto Tomo and then taking down Jersh and Yuki. But I feel Yui as well has also been doing some really excellent cleanup work. I've been really impressed by that scout duo so far.
Well, and I'm impressed to see what they'll manage here, because this could tie it, and there's 7 minutes left too, so they got some time to do it. But they're gonna take Rocky and a scout coming in through door 1 here, and they pick off Aporia really early again. Let's see if they can get the gun this time. Rocky is just gonna jump right up behind the point here. He's gonna be met by Yuki. He's gonna get crushed. The gun goes down here. Yuki goes down. Namie down too, and Yui trades out with Thermo, and they get the point.
For all.
Made a faith, and Jersh had, and he just didn't pop, and he wound up dropping on the point to a crit rocket because of the cap. So, do you think Thermo might think to go a little bit slower here, because going fast really hasn't worked? And no, he's gonna go really fast again. He's on mid, and oh man, Gooseman actually has really good speed to counter him here, and no one's really gonna have Thermo. Might get caught out there, but he's gonna be fine here, and we're just gonna see another mid fight coming around here. Fairly aggressive in terms of position this time from Ego, and they pick off Jaiho, they pick off Rocky. They realize that going slow is not the right answer, as Yui and Mercy down too. Aporia is so far the only casualty.
Red Hawk getting chased down by Faithless.
Namie did get killed by a pain train, but now Gooseman will kill himself. And we're at 4-4 with 5 minutes left, and I don't think that we're even going to be able to see a defense come out here, as this is just going to be popped right forward here. He's just standing on the point. He does have a pyro to deal with, but they're just going to cap it.
Yeah, nice. Really nice aware play from Faithless, just standing on the corner of the point when the sentry can't see him, getting all that cap time, making Home Alone come to him. I'm going to be watching Gooseman on this mid, because last mid he hit a really nice sticky onto Turbo to try to deny that mid area. Looks like he's going to be forcing it up the right side. He's just going to be content.
Fast Turbo, boy. He's done it! And we'll see if his team can capitalize that on this mid fight. No one has died yet, but they're so clumped together on Home Alone. They're taking so much damage. They're just all standing together. They pick off Jaiho really early there. Red Hawk and Mercy down too. And Rocky only trades with the Aporia. Gooseman out too, and that's... I mean, they just clumped together there on that mid fight. That's kind of writing on the wall. And I almost did forget. I wasn't paying that close attention going into the mid because I forgot we're in Australia. This isn't first to 5. It's win difference of 5. But Turmo is trapping the spawn. And he picks up Gooseman.
Oh, that's such a crucial kill, getting the demo down before the push even starts, because look, they're going to be able to kite it so hard. Looks like they're going to roll in door 2. They're going to spot the gun so early, but they're going to be so close to it before they finally have to use. They do actually end up popping early just because of Yui on Sniper. No frags just yet. Sentry guys get taken down, but now Navy comes in, cleans up onto Mercy. But Rocky, with 2 kills, is it going to be enough? No, Turbo, 3 huge frags to finish it off. 2 stickies and a pipe.
With the 6k that life too, Turbo just doing absolute work as we expect them to. And this is not looking good for Home Alone. It looks like they've kind of poked the bear, awakened the ego. And now Turbo just flies into mid there majestically. And Mercy's fast enough that he's not even gonna get a chance to catch him. Never mind. And this is just another mid fight here. Throwing spam around here. I've said that a lot. But now we got double bomb coming in here. They're getting right in on Jer. She misses the air shot. Mercy, can he get the other one? No, he gets pain trained down. But his team, Jaiho and Yui, combined for 3-4. Rocky picks up Yuki. And that is a mid-fight win. There is a scout still hanging in here, though that's Faithless. I think they know he's there. They definitely know he's there, and he's going to get dragged hard.
Yeah, well, another big Uber advantage push coming up right now for Home Alone. They should be able to get into last, and they should be able to hopefully get the work done. I'm going to see Namie coming up on Engineer, and the real question is, can they do it in time? They have to push right now. We've only got 3 minutes left, and they need 2 rounds to send this to Golden Cap. Looks like Rocky, they've done this door 1 Uber so commonly. Now, Yui and Rocky into door 1. What can they get down? Turbo goes down, and now they're going to sweep forward across the board, spamming over towards that sentry.
There's
Sentry does get taken down.
I don't know what happened to the scout. I thought he might actually get second here before they could even cap last, and that would have been crucial. But they will cap last here, which means that they have 2 minutes and 40 seconds to roll forward and force a tie.
What do you even do? Yeah, we have 2 minutes 30 left to go on this map if you can't see it on stream. And we are going to see Gooseman. He's rolling into this crucial mid. Turbo does manage to beat him. He's stuck behind this rock for so long on these mids now. And he's just going to spam up onto the left crate. Take down to 40. Aporia with 2 clutch rockets. Just instantly frags Gooseman. That was so insane from him. And now Turbo's fragging onto Rocky. Oh, what a clutch rockets from Aporia in the round that they have to win.
Well, it's not over until it's over. There is still 2 minutes, which is plenty of time for them to kind of make some plays here. Jaiho picking up Aporia is a good start. He does trade. And now Mercy's right in there trying to get Jersh down. And they get Turmo. That's a good pick off there. Yui hitting some nice meat on some players. And now this fight is rolling into second here. Yuki and Yui are going to trade off, which, God, that's a pain to say. But we've got the Home Alone wave. They're rolling in here. Walking in through choke, they do realize that they face 2 scouts. Without a scout, which, you know, doesn't really help. But now they have Jaiho here. They might try and move. They have a minute 30 left. I don't know. They have to go really fast here. They need an Uber exchange right here.
Post-Uber.
And it's definitely doable. And dropping Rocky at the very beginning is not how you're going to do it. But they do pick up Faithless. This is a good start, or return, I guess. But they've given up so much positioning. No one has died here. Aporia will be taken out, but Mercy goes down to Turmo. And, oh man, Namie and Turmo just combining to wreck people, but they finally get taken out. Yuki goes down, Jaiho as well. And it's now just Yui and Red Hawk rolling in, trying to do what they can, but with 50 seconds left, I think we've reached a time we call garbage time.
I think this is actually possible if they can just sweep forward right in here. His scout's just going to run in. Nami just dies. Really optimistic from him. Basically just giving his life away. And now we have 30 seconds for 2 points. This soldier is so close. Nami and Aporia just sit down on top of Yui. Mercy is going to be able to trade back onto Aporia, but Nami coming up big there. Actually, should have been talking about Faithless and not Nami. Before I was talking about Nami then. But Nami is actually coming up huge when his team needs him. 3 kills now, and that's going to be it for this map.
10 seconds remaining. They can't physically cap second and last in that time frame. So,
huge game.
What an ending. I mean, the fact that it looked so close and it was just kind of back and forth, and then Ego just says, "Hey, we don't want this to be like any closer," and they just roll through. What was that? 3 quick rounds there. Just absolutely impressive performance there to kind of clinch the map for them. Is that 6-4 map really was kind of the dagger in the heart. You're looking at under 6 minutes, and they have a 2-round lead. And with the experience on Yuki, Turmo, and Aporia, I honestly didn't see them choking it away. They came close, but I didn't see them doing it, especially not when Turmo was having that dominant start to a mid. It was just kind of... It was almost just... What's the word I'm looking for? It was expected that they one of these rounds they'd capitalize off that.
Well, I think like we've got to draw attention to the fact that there were actually a lot of really good mid wins from Home Alone, and then we saw like, subsequently after those mid wins, Rocky would often take Ubers either with a scout or just solo Ubers, like straight in through door 1, and they're actually proving to be much more effective than you'd probably think, because people say that if you go in door 1 they can just hide to the left of the point, but it seemed like Rocky was perfectly content to get 1 or 2 frags, maybe the players who were just left trailing around door 2, and then just sweep forward across the point. And I think they were really effective at pushing last with full Uber advantage, perhaps even more effective than I expected them to be, and that's like a good explanation of why the scoreline was as close as it was.
Well, I say we look at these stats here, and looking at it, we said early that it was going to be those scouts. See what they do. Nami went absolute ham, but Jaiho and Yui followed that too. I'm looking at Yui. Even though Nami had 32 kills, Yui coming in at 330 DPM on scout against Sniper. Just an absolutely strong, dominant performance from the 3 scouts there. Unfortunately, that leaves Faithless falling behind, not going positive, and sitting down at 230 DPM. But just, man.
Yeah, well, I don't think we can ever say that like 230 DPM is terrible performance for a scout. I think in a game with a lot of strong scouts, I'd just like to say that I called out before the game as my 2 MVP players. I said Yui and Turmo. They were the top 2 damagers in the game. With Yui actually top damage, got 9.6k. And Turmo on 9.3. That's a huge game from Yui. That's so like impactful, and especially when
Turmo. Can we just talk a minute about Turmo?
Yeah, for sure.
From those rollouts, like I've always wanted to. I'll be honest. I've always wanted to cast a game with Turmo just because he really impressed me. I-52 was like the cream of the crop in terms of my TF2 experience, and just the fact that he opens the first mid, crushing Gooseman in speed, and then picking him in 2 stickies, and I'm like, wow, Turmo is good. And he put up what, 330 or 322 DPM, I think. And just had an absolute monster game.
And I feel like something we probably should note is the fact that both teams are playing quite a different playstyle at this point in the game. So I suppose you could say that it's Ego who are playing sort of the more current meta game. They've got actually roughly even heals on Turmo and Yuki. Actually, Turmo taking a tiny bit more. But then on the other side, on Home Alone, we saw Rocky take 46% of the heals. That's actually including the heals that Red Hawk took. So without that, it's actually probably a greater share of the heals. And that's like a really, really large amount of heals to be taken. And obviously, some of that's due to the fact that Rocky does play a very traditional pocket. He plays rocket launcher shotgun as opposed to rocket launcher gunboats. But we are seeing sort of a clash of styles in today's game. And so sometimes I feel like Gooseman is actually being sort of hung out to dry by his team a bit, or he's playing, maybe not hung out to dry, he's just playing in a significantly different role to the one that we see currently occupied by Turmo and his team. So I feel like if they maybe just even a small redistribution of heals towards their scouts and towards Gooseman would actually sort of serve them a bit better. I feel like there was a lot of sort of dead heals being pumped into Rocky when he probably wasn't the best player to be doing the most of them. That being said, though, I think Rocky definitely hit some really nutty shots that game. I think he had some obviously he did almost as much damage as Turmo. He had a very strong game in my opinion.
Worth noting is that these heal stats are kind of misleading. It's pretty clear that they don't include buffs. At least I hope they don't, because seeing sub 800 heals on scouts kind of hurts me. But I mean, it's hard to tell how heavily buffed the scouts are. But I would definitely like to see them give more of a distribution towards Yui and Jaiho. And I mean, in fairness, in Nami too, just like we're seeing this game with such dominant scouts that it would definitely treat Home Alone better, just to kind of tank them up even harder, just with the amount of work that they're doing.
Yeah. I think it's also important, we didn't talk about people who weren't doing as much damage, but Gooseman was actually sitting under 200 DPM. I do think that some of that is a consequence of what I was talking about before, was that heal distribution. The fact that when I think his team kind of expected him to just go toe-to-toe with Turmo, but I don't think you can go toe-to-toe with Turmo as a demo man without roughly equal heals. I feel like even with equal heals, Turmo is the better deathmatcher of the two. And when he's got much more heals, it's so hard for Gooseman to be able to do anything in those situations. He was doing relatively little damage on mid. He would often be stuck behind their rock, and for the first sort of 15 seconds of mid, or maybe not 15 seconds, but at least until his team got there. And I felt like that obviously really hurt his damage, but it also really hurt his team's chances. They really needed Rocky and their scouts to work really hard. I felt like the two Romans played fairly contrasting styles. They end up with roughly similar stats, but I feel like it was Apore got the most med picks in that game, ending up with 4 kills on the med, while Mercy only got 2. But I feel like Mercy was often used by his team not just as a person to kill the med, but he would often do a lot of work either distracting so his teammates could get kills, or by just jumping in to try to get an early force out to make sure that his team's medic could stay alive. I felt like he had quite a good game as well.
Absolutely. It's definitely leaving us a lot of stuff too that I think this game, at least, I think is something we'll definitely come back to talking about even after this ends, especially with how that process went. And I guess it'll be kind of the shameless sort of self-promotion. I think we'll have some stuff to talk about from here on our panel show that we're now running. I think the next one is supposed to be the 8th of April. And some of you may have seen it in chat earlier this past Friday, actually, that we sat about 7 of us into a Skype call and talked all things TF2, and that's coming back. I feel like I should announce that, and likely I said on the 8th of April. So shameless plug there.
Yeah, so I would say everyone who's even got some vague interest in TF2 should tune into that, just for the sound of possibly hearing Dreamboat's dulcet tones. And I thoroughly recommend
I'm blushing
that.
here.
I know you are, dude.
And you might see Fear looking like he's going to cry, as someone suggested last week that he looked like he was crying.
To be fair, I often cry when I play Medic.
Ooh, good point. And I think you'd be crying if you were playing demo against Turmo when he's beating you that consistently to mid. Hopefully Gooseman can wipe the tears out of his eyes here as we get set for our next mid fight. And Turmo's on mid, and oh my goodness. This is unhealthy. Okay, finally Gooseman gets the mid here, and we have the fight coming down. Turmo's actually in worse health though. And now we have the fight coming down. And okay, Turmo. Okay, up for you. Turmo getting Yui and Gooseman with 1 pipe. 1 pipe, 2 kills. And yeah.
Gyro sits down on Aporia. He has got an opportunity to go for Jersh, but he's going to be cut off by that fence. Maybe he'll sneak through the window here. Just trying to chip them back into middle. Just teach them that they can't quite overextend that much. And the question will be whether or not Red Hawk thinks that they can get Uber in time. Because I think if Ego push now, which they are much more likely to do now that Mercy's, I really don't agree with that death, because it makes them so much more likely to push here, and they've still got a few seconds. It does look like Red Hawk is actually going to end up getting Uber in the end, but maybe they'll still think that it's they can have a favourable situation. Really slow here. They know exactly where they're coming from.
Yeah, they lost their 18-second advantage, but they are still rolling in here, just throwing some rockets and scattergun shot, and they drop Faithless. They drop Faithless though, which
it's okay. Look, they haven't even
in the
used
situation
yet.
Isn't that ideal. You'd like to kind of keep your scout alive, and now they're actually just gonna let Red Hawk escape. They haven't really killed anyone. Oh, okay, they get Guzman and Yui there. That makes up for it a little bit, but honestly, not that ideal in Uber. Like, they do get second out of this, but I mean, it should be a good holding position for Red Hawk here and the rest of his team. But coming in through that right-hand side is Turmo, and they actually jump Yuki right onto the point. You can get taken out there really quickly. Turmo let down too, and Jaiho the only casualty the other way. But now the bomb's coming in here. Your Aporia is just on the point. No one's stopping him. Now he gets taken out, and we have the full wipe. That's a wiped Ego. It's like they ate their waffle and, you know, licked their plate clean after that one. They clean up everybody. Now we do have the cap coming in here, but worth noting is Jersh's spawn time. He was quite a bit ahead of Red Hawk. Red Hawk still has not spawned, so it's going to be about a 15% advantage. Probably 20, maybe 25, depending on how long it takes Red Hawk to actually heal someone. And that's going to be going to allow here Ego to get this point back and get set for another last push with a small advantage. Now, looking to erase that advantage is Yui sniping once again.
Yeah, we've got Jaiho on the engineer as well. Looks like he might catch Nami out here. That's a really unfortunate death. Now we see Aporia jumping in. Can he get? Yes, nice Aporia!
What a rocket! Just comes flying in there, pops Red Hawk up, and then crushes him. We see the respect from Red Hawk coming out there, and Chatty says, "Nice shot," with a frowny face. Aporia replies with a simple smile and a thank you.
Yeah, well, I feel like there's not much else you can really say there. You know, he's just... Oh, now Yuki's going to be able to catch out Merciless. They're going to Uber in from under. I actually said that, but it's actually a force coming out from Merciless, doing him injustice. And now Faithless, moving forward, they're just going to take so much point position and make Home Alone come to them. But so far, it hasn't really been put to bed yet. And it does look like, with that, Turmo pipes, that they're going to take a 1-0 lead in this second map.
I just want to say that Red Hawk got some revenge with a crossbow. And Aporia says, they shot at you too. So, well, there's our battle coming in here for the match. Our rivalry to watch is Red Hawk versus Aporia. And there really hasn't been trash talk. Just some good sportsmanship there.
This is way too friendly. Can we get Brutalix in this game? We need some banter.
We need Richard Lewis and Thor in here. Is Aporia taken out by Rocky early? Guzman goes down, and oh my, Jaiho and Mercy get 2 more. Mercy killing himself on Jersh's face. But it's a worthwhile kill for him there. He picks him off. Red Hawk does live here. And look for Yuki and Turmo. It looks like they're planning something. Maybe. Potentially. Maybe.
They have to try to make... Yuki is just hiding outside a cafe trying to make a play. I feel like they have to check here, and I feel like he's really vulnerable to being spotted out from cafe, and maybe like he wants to hold... He's trying to avoid being insta-spotted out when they check that tight angle, when they come around an Uber, and he's trying to be able to get that force, but I feel like if one of them comes cafe, it's just not going to work. And sort of Nami's sort of past judgment on his team's second hold by setting up a sentry gun at last. Faithless obviously is sniping into Flowers. I think they'll probably be aware of the possibility of a sniper in this situation.
Will they though? As that looks like where they're gonna walk in through. He misses shot 1 and oh, they pop off Uber. That is Aporia getting the force. And now Faithless is trying to run away as they give up second here. But maintain that Uber, and Turmo's actually getting them. Maybe they're not giving it up here. Turmo's walking forward. He actually sends Mercy to the moon and back. And might have collected some space dust for him there. Does manage to keep his life.
Yeah, That was a really well executed play from Ego coming out there, and now they're just going to be able to leapfrog them with this uber advantage. Mercy, you're not a jersh, but they are going to manage to shut it down, using the roller door to its full advantage as they sweep forward. Yui's going to go down as well to a sticky from Tomo. Jaiho is too far forward, should get caught out in the lobby here, does get caught out by Nami, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Home Alone defense of second, and still 100% Uber on Jersh. They're probably going to get mid out of this as well. Yuki trying to jump forward. Yui could die here. Oh, he gets lucky, manages to catch out Tomo, but he should be dying himself soon. No?
Jersh living a long time there, just kind of in the hair. And Red Hawk doesn't have yet. If they can catch him before he... Okay, he's just holding down that right click. Finally does get it up, and they pick off Faithless. I thought for a second that Jersh was going to get caught in the most unfortunate timing. And Aporia ends up killing himself with the... going down to Rocky's rocket. I thought Aporia for a second killed himself with a rocket on Red Hawk's face. Which would have been funny. It's always... I always love it when a roamer kills himself on the medic.
Yeah, now it's going to be a push out of Flowers. Home Alone sweeping forward. They should be able to... Oh, Jersh might get caught out here. He's so close, but Nami in position to defend his medic. Yuki managed to get Jaiho, and now the frags are starting to go tip in favour of Ego. Merciless, caught out in bottom lobby. He just manages to trade for Aporia before going down, but it's just Red Hawk who's going to be back on middle, and can Terma manage to get this kill? Spawns in 2 seconds for Red Hawk. It looks like he should be able to escape here.
And we do have that Eagle capping down that point, and Yuki will not escape. He tried. He failed.
Optimistic, I think. Yui
But they get the cap down, and they drop Termo. Oh no, dropping Termo. You can't do that there. That's just absolutely horrid for his team, but they launch Nami, and they're trying to pick off Red Hawk, and he's back up. Jersh could get caught here. He's only got Aporia to keep him alive, as Faithless and Nami are both down. Aporia will be taken out too. Maybe? Finally? Yes, he does Crater. But they did buy Jersh enough time to meet up with the Australian Super Pocket legend, Yuki, who should do a good enough job keeping him alive.
Yeah,
no.
And we're going to say Gooseman now pushing out of Cafe. It looks like they're just going to take this slow. They know they've got the Uber advantage. They know they should be able to use it to force back Ego from the point. Turbo could potentially get caught out here. Look how aggressive he's being. Gooseman could die here. Really nice. We're going to see the Uber popped out, but there's only 3 alive now for Home Alone. Faithless chancing around the point, doesn't actually end up going down, but it's going to be much more favourable for a team immunity. They catch out Red Hawk. They catch out Mercy. I've called them team immunity for the 2nd time tonight. I don't care. They have the 3 core players that are required for the roster.
And oh, Navy's taking a fight with Rocky, and he, well, it's a scout versus a soldier. I don't care that he's running shotgun. That is easy kill, easy game, easy life. Ego's gonna cap off this point here and roll forward. And they get a nice little jump in there. Yuki's beefed. He tried to go for that, I think, 3 times now, and he beefed it. But Yui picking up Faithless with the big headshot is looking for more. He misses that shot, but Yuki is already dead. And can Yui pick off anything else? No, it does not look like he can, but his team might roll forward with that. And although Red Hawk isn't actually at Uber advantage at all, he's at a very heavily disadvantage. And now, actually, Poria coming in through Cafe could be alone. He's fighting Mercy. No, he's going to be picked off there. Jaiho comes in to support that, but Guzman goes down as the Uber's popped off here. Termo jumping right in, looking like Cadis here with these bombs. And can he frag anything else? He's doing everything he can. Can't get Mercy. He's beefing his pipes, his stickies. He's got a sniper on him too. Thermo, please, do something.
No!
Get skill stick. Oh, rest in peace, Thermo. But now we see Faithless just running in there, holding W, picks up Yui. Now both scouts today, they pick up Rocky. That's Nami. Nami doing so much work. He's still alive, but he's actually going to be picked up by a Gooseman pipe. As they didn't actually cap second. That kind of would have helped. I mean, they could have capped last there if they'd capped second, but now we're going to see them roll forward here.
And they do get Ubered back into. That's such an easy force. They really can't afford to be giving it that easily. Red Hawk's 150 health. I really don't feel like they needed to use the commitment from IM. Just wasn't there. But Jaiho, he's going to manage. He's dancing around. There's not a lot of damage on these players though, and they could just get they could all be mopped up. Yuki gets Jaiho. Yuki gets Red Hawk. Gooseman alone on the point, and they haven't actually capped it, so they still have to be worried about going to last. It's a Nami. He's dancing through lobby. Gooseman's taken down by
They
Turbo.
wipe him.
they're gonna be able to get on the point. That's round. Mercy's not gonna be able to get out in time. Yes, he is. What? Cancel.
I was going to be like so amazed by Mercy. Like he walks out of Shutter, he gets skyboxed by a sticky trap, and then he lands and hits Jersh with like he lands on top of Jersh and like hits the 2 easiest directs of his life to kill Jersh. And I'm like, wow, this is actually gonna like be a really good hold here. Like this is gonna allow Home Alone to push out, and then they just lose every other fight possible. It was a really easy round. And now we have a mid fight here. Mercy's jumping into the opposing cafe. We have a kind of a contestation up top here. Mercy jumping forward, will pick off Namie, gets taken up by Aporio. And then we're just seeing some spam around Aporio with a nice rocket on the Gooseman. That's a dead demo now for Home Alone, and this is not looking good.
Yeah, they just managed to consolidate.
Yuki flying in there does not pick off Red Hawk. He does a lot of damage though. And now his team might actually come flying back
Rocky
behind
takes
him.
down
Okay. Faithless down.
Now,
Jersh has to pop
early
here.
Force. This could be so bad. Oh, the Force, it's going to come back out. Rocky, you're Ubering onto middle. Will they be able to escape now? It doesn't look like Jersh. Jersh with a nice surf, but just get taken down by Yui. And now they're going to sweep forward. Jaiho picks off Namie. And that's all they're going to need. Because now they're going to take mid. They're going to have an Uber advantage to push second. Which means if they play this right, they can actually almost roll all the way to last. They can have 40% Uber advantage by the time Jersh is up, or at least 35. They should be able to push in. Looks like they're going to go via Flowers. Rocky, Gooseman, and Jaiho, it looks like, are lining up to take this in. Yui dancing around. Yuki trying to go for the bomb in, but he does get taken down by Rocky. It looks like they're just going to have to give it up. Like I said, it's still going to be able to have this Uber advantage for last. Namie trying to dart in on the point, does get taken down by the Home Alone soldier. And Namie as well, taken down by Jaiho. 2-player advantage now to Home Alone. Can they manage to bring it back to 2-1 here?
And they're gonna do what they can. Gooseman is going to front this with a scout and a soldier. They pop the super right into a sentry gun. They pick it off super quickly there, and they have the scout just putting so much time on the point here. It's a double man feeding sauce to Jersh. She feeds 2, finally gets the kill there. But this is kind of a chaotic fight. Is Ego's putting up a really good defense, or yeah,
Rocky
defense, and
just jumped
Rocky
on the point.
just goes beastly and caps the point. Yes, words hard. Time. Sleep. Me. 5 a.m. Sorry. 4:15.
17 minutes left for Home Alone to manage to claim at least one more round if they want to send this to Golden Cap. The score currently 2-1. Gooseman catches an early sticky from Termo, or just dodges another one. Termo's been killing him so far on the rollouts, just getting there to mid so quickly. And now it's Namie. Could open the frags up with a nice kill onto Mercy. That bomb's not actually working for him. Yui takes a rocket. Now they're being forced back onto the low ground. Aporia and Rocky trading up to stairs. Jaiho and Faithless now engaging the scout tool and flank, and it looks like Jaiho's going to get the better of him. Yui still dancing around on the left here. Rocket goes in. 2 shots. Yuki. Massive play coming out from Yui. And can he dance forward? It's going to be enough time. If he can hit these shots here.
Jaiho's there too. Jaiho picks off Turbo and Namie and Jersh. That's a scout mid for you there. That's why I love that class. That's why I play that class. Is they just kind of roll forward. 2 scouts there, clean up everybody. And put out some nice frags themselves. It's not just clean up. It's, you know, as you said, there was that nice Yui 2-shot onto his almost namesake, Yuki. Now it's going to allow Home Alone to keep this point.
Power of a buff scout at the end of mid. There's not a lot he could do there. Turbo hit some really nice pipes and stickies to defend himself and his medic for as long as he did, but eventually the power of the sort of the healed scout just overcame that. There's a trap in lower lobby, but Rocky is going to manage to spot it out, clearing the stickies off the walls. Namie thinks about maybe trying to make a play here, but looks like they're just going to get straight in into last. There's a sentry gun up, so will they be able to take care of it is the question. Gooseman hitting some nice stickies. They do get it down with the help of Mercy, but now Gooseman's going to be taken down. Termo's in such a good position to do some more damage here. Namie jumps around, kills the kill. Aporia with another one, and now it's just Rocky on 1 health, Yuri on 41 health against 3 players. Termo hits the pipe, he gets taken down. Really clutch hold there from Team Ego.
They do pick off Jersh, which is crucial. Red Hawk will have that advantage here. It's going to give him a shot to hold the second. But going back to that mid, you said 185 scout, and occasionally they let me coach NA newbie mixes. And one thing that really all the new scouts ask is, how do I get better? Like, what's holding me back? And my answer is, you're not 185. Be 185. 185 scout is the best class in the game. And that really just proved it on that mid fight, as those two scouts were very highly buffed for that almost the entirety of that mid fight. And it allowed them just to kind of roll in and get, I think, 5 kills between them. Unfortunately, they couldn't carry that through into a last push, though. Is actually, don't know if you caught that, but Yui got a little bit hurt coming into that fight. I think he got dropped down to about 60 before the Uber was even popped off. So he was not in the best situation to take. But now we have that other Uber, and it looks like he's getting the brunt of the flash. And they pick off Yuki, they pick off, they drop Jio and Mercy, actually. They pick off Faithless, though, and Jersh. Rocky takes him out.
What a push. Aporia on the point. Aporia, can he... Oh, they know where he is. Surely they can't give up this frag here. He's going to be spamming some pipes down, but Rocky is the one who manages to finish him off. And now it's, again, Uber advantage in the favor of Redhawk. Jersh there was in like the late 90s%, somewhere between 95 and 100% on his Uber. And so Rocky managed to get into lobby and kill him there. It's probably the most important thing that's going to happen in this round, because it's given, instead of them automatically like probably losing mid after they get wiped on the Uber repush, instead Redhawk's going to have a 30% Uber advantage as they push last, and it's going to be really interesting to see where they choose to take it. So far they've shown a preference for going under the point and sort of going all the way to lower, and it looks like Termo's read that really well. He's got one trap under, one trap on lobby, and he should have been spotted there by Jaiho, which means that the Uber should be coming in top right, and they do use it in. Faithless instantly taken down by Rocky. Let's see what else he can get done with it. Sentry's taken down by Gooseman.
Termo's not in this last right now, which is worth noting. As Gooseman's a fat pipe on the name. They're going to cap that. Termo was in no man's land. He like walked out to sewers, and he wound up coming in through that top right where teams kind of push. He just was not in last at all. He was floating around the lobby, and that really just, they couldn't spam the point. They couldn't trap the point. It tripled their defense that he was so far out. Speaking of so far out, Termo is so far out into this mid, and it actually is about 5 seconds before Gooseman even showed up there. It's absolutely strong showing on these rollouts again, even though it is a weird map. And now they pick up Mercy to start here, so okay, you go drop Faithless. This is about 5-on-5 mid fight here, close up. But Aporia going down as Jaiho and Yui are combining for massive damage again. Jaiho trying to pistol away there too, and that's going to be a mid fight win here. As they keep rolling forward here, we're tied with 12 minutes left. Ooh, but Nami hits the best of Jaiho. And he's got a scout partner coming in there. They pick him off. That is Yui taking off Nami. And now the Ubers are exchanged as Red Hawk gets sky high there off a little pop-up. But now, that is Rocky bombing right forward there. Can he get anything? No, he can't quite.
Yuki levitated by
kills
Yui.
himself. And Church! Mercy! Oh man, Jersh got, Mercy got delayed in the air, and he came right down on top of Jersh's head, allowed him to hit even easier rockets. But Yui and Gooseman goes down. Redhawk fighting here, gets a saw on Termo. And now he is at 44%, but he's got a scout right on him. He's got 2 scouts bearing in on him. And Jaiho takes one. Can he get Namidu? He gets both of them. And that's the power of the 185 scout. Jaiho winning a 1v2, or a 2v2, as he has his bed healing him. Takes out both scouts. And now Yuki's rolling forward here. They're throwing everything they can, and Jaiho is gonna frag him too. Jaiho killing everybody. Absolutely dominant showing from him so far, and he's got Yui kind of poking around in this lobby area saying, hey, Jaiho, I can kill things too, And now here it is. Yui's rolling in here quickly. They get the gun really early. They get Faithless too, and Yui's just standing on the point. Nothing can stop him.
Wow, who expected this? Home Alone 3-2. I'm not going to lie that I actually expected this.
I called, I think I said 5-4 for Home Alone here. So this is
you might still get your
a
wish.
little bit
10
slower,
left.
But this is looking good here. We've got a really close game so far, and Termo, again, so early on these mid, but he's the one actually taking damage first. As Gooseman, although being slower, hits a nice sticky onto him. Now we have these frags. No one has really fragged anything, but this pressure coming in so hard on the right-hand side here. Out of Ego. They pick off Yuki early, though. Rocky with that shotgun. Some say it's a dying weapon, but he's making it work. And Nami gets taken up by Yui, too. Aporia down as well. Faithless, too. Gooseman, so far the only casualty. So Gooseman and Mercy. And Jaiho still rolling in here. Trying to get in there. He picks off Church. And the bomb's going to come in here. And that's Rocky with the shotgun picking off Termo. Dominant mid here once again from Home Alone. It's carrying over from Process that even though Termo is winning the race to mid, You know, just consider that a battle. It's just one battle, but battles don't win the war. Only one battle. They actually are winning this war in the long run by crushing these mid-fights.
Yeah, well, it's now, like, they managed... I feel like if they'd gone a bit quicker, they might have capitalized off the fact that Turmo actually died really late there, but it looks like they're just going to be content. They know they've got Uber advantage. Oh, I don't really like that. They're so close in lobby. The Uber's going to be popped out. Yuki should get caught here. And in fact does get caught by Rocky, but that's all they've done with the Uber so far. Aporia is still locked outside. He should die in the next second. He does do so. But now it's a bit awkward for them because like they're 1 down, and while their opposition are 2 down, they know they've
Jaiho's on
into a
spot.
century without Uber. Oh, I really like this from Jaiho. He knows there's going to be a stalemate. He knows that although we do have a slight Uber advantage in the favour of Ego, they're really unlikely to push off such a small advantage, pushing out of last. They've got an engineer. You know, they're going to be just looking to turtle it for now. So I really like the idea that Jaiho, he's gone spy. Is he using the big earner? He is.
He almost, like, he got a sticky shot right in his face, and he runs by a port. He can sap the gun.
He'll go for the med. He'll go for the med for sure.
No, he can back at this.
Oh, that's possible.
He's got Mercy with him.
Why would he do that?
I don't know. He didn't disguise as anybody. I don't know what's happening in this game. Is Jersh pops a super right forward here. Yuki's trying to get Red Hawk, and he is. Nice rocket there. I don't think Red Hawk expected to even be hit by Yuki. Faithless cleans up Yui. And now we've got that momentum coming into play. As there is still a spy who gets now taken out by Aporia. That is no longer a spy. And,
that's such a crucial last push as well, because imagine if that goes well, it's 4-2 to Home Alone with only 8 or 9 minutes remaining. But as it is, it's 3-2. We've got a big Uber advantage in the favour of Home Alone after
Gooseman's gonna die
to
here. He's in no man's land. He's got 6 people on him, or he's not. Okay, finally, he is. Namey. He does take out Aporia with a fat pipe, and I just have to emphasize how fat that pipe was because Aporia got crushed. But he does still
sounds
go down
like
here.
a body shaming
That's
over there.
not going to make a difference here. Well, maybe it will. They got the fat man. Speaking of fat, they got Yui up on that heavy to kind of delay things off here, and they have the sentry gun. I guess they're trying to stalemate this out here as Uber's popped in here, and maybe going sky high. Yuki taken out by Mercy. So far that Uber really didn't do anything, and Aporia, okay, he's gonna get Rocky, but now the heavy's doing work here. But it's a scout right there, 2 scouts right there. And no, this heavy is doing so much work. But Turmo gets 3, Turmo gets 4. He gets 3, sorry.
3 all. Really big play on the point from Namey and Turmo right at the end there. It looks like Home Alone were going to manage to hold. They had the heavy, they had the demo, but they just didn't have enough health to deal with a combined scout and demo push. And that was the end of the round. So now, what can they bring to the table? What can they do? 6 minutes to get for either team to make this map happen for them. It's all to play for right now. And the first frag, Mercy hits a huge rocket onto Faithless, and now Rocky, they're just trading. It's 1-for-1 so far. It's still 1-for-1. 3 versus 3.
Namey should go down here. No, Jaiho actually dies. And Red Hawk, please. No, he's gonna go down to 2. And Gooseman. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Gooseman. Are you goosing me? Are you kidding me? Yuki's got to run away because he's so low. And now we might actually have a second mid-fight here. Unless Gooseman's just going to give the point up to Yuki. Which I don't think he is. He's walking out here. He's got his team with him. And we are going to have that mid-fight here. Yuki jumps right forward. He might get Yuki out. No, he's just going to back up. And they're actually just going to give this away. I was hopeful that we'd have the second mid-fight. This has just been such a good game. And we're down to 5:20 on the clock.
They actually do have quite a considerable Uber advantage in the favour of Jersh. I'm not sure if they know it, but they've actually got a 30% advantage. And that could be really crucial when it comes to like any sort of push off this stalemate. If they know they've got it, then I would expect to see them be making a move inside the next few seconds. But if they don't, then I really feel like it's just going to have to come down to a Roman jump. But it looks like they do know it. Yuki, Turmo, they're going to be pushing in. They do lose Aporia straight up, but now Yuki, he commanded Namey for 2 frags. They still haven't popped off this Uber, and now when it comes out, it could be so devastating. They managed to catch him out of position. Faithless is taken down by Mercy. Mercy's still ducking and weaving around this flower room. Oh, Turmo annihilates him, but now Red Hawk, He's got his Uber. They're dancing around at last. He manages to Uber, but it's just a scout. What can Yui do with this?
Yui has to go God mode here, and he is going to start it off with a shot on Amy. Rocky gets Aporia too. And there's actually a bit of a push out here. Rocky's all the way on a second. Taking out, or trade with Gio. But Faithless is going to pick Yui, and oh my Gooseman is alone, and he's going to die here. This is a very sloppy push. They pick off, they trade Faithless for Gooseman, I guess. But oh my goodness, Mercy is right on top of... Yeah, he's going to get Jersh. She had to get Jersh. Jersh was so hurt and all alone. He had to be there. And oh my Goose, what an air shot. I'm going to start using that because of Gooseman here. What a shot there. Thermo can't clean up Red Hawk. Did you see that air shot? That midi, as it were?
Middies are sort of like an everyday event for me, so like generally I don't even pay attention to them. I actually don't use my PREC bookmark for anything less than triple middies at the moment.
Well, if only Smithsonian were that good, this team might be doing more than last place in. Sorry, enough about
That's a roast.
We're focused on the game at hand. Aporia taken out by Jaiho. And sorry, Smiths. I love you. Yes, we have these fakes coming around. And it's gonna be a mid back in the hands of Home Alone. 3:03 left on the clock.
They have a
Everyone's favorite error
here. Probably you're talking around like an 8 or 9 second Uber advantage. Looks like it's just gonna go. They will be contesting this point with Uber. Jersh about to get it, he has got it, and Faithless manages to get the first 2 kills. If Faithless can do anything more, it's going to be so effective. Jaiho manages to turn back onto Yuki.
He gets dropped on Uber as Jaiho goes huge. He'll be taken up by Nami, and this is not looking good. Red Hawk down here too. Gooseman, they're actually just going to wipe on that.
Despite the fact that Yuki got dropped, I think Ego were in the much better positions for most of that fight, and they really managed to capitalize at the end, just using that height advantage that you get by sitting next to the lighthouse to spam down on the grass area. Really just effective play. And actually Gooseman hasn't got forward spores, which means there's actually a small window for them to do this before they actually have a full complement of players. Jaiho should get caught ahead here, down to 7 health. I can't imagine that he survives here. He does survive, I don't know why I bother talking. But Yui is going to be caught out by Faithless, and it looks like Home Alone are going to run all the way back
Home
to
Alone.
their last.
Okay, good. Gooseman and Jaiho pick up a couple kills. I was just going to say, please stay alive and just be able to hold this. Because we have a minute 53 on the clock,
Uber,
and this would be so heartbreaking for them to lose this. They see the trap there. They have the pop-off early here. Turmo starts to get the flash on him. And now the bomb's coming forward here. This gun has to do something. It goes down. Gooseman goes down too. This is not looking promising, as there is still a minute 30 on the clock. But where the fight's coming down, Rocky gets Turmo. The 5th is Jaiho. He will be taken out here. The health is not good. Yuki and Nami taken out. Red Hawk down too, though. Aporia down,
Yui.
Jersh the only one alive, Yui going massive, and Jersh will kill Pine. This cap will come in, and with a minute left, we're in a little bit safer territory. We're in safer territory for Home Alone, and that's what matters here. They are going to start rolling forward here. Yui is clicking on sticky bombs because, well, I mean, you don't want to step on them. You want to click on them, so he's doing the right thing there. But 55 seconds, I think we are playing for... Is it Golden Cap here?
It will be Golden Cap.
It will be a Golden Cap.
Mercy manages to take down Yui. Faithless is actually really low as well. There's a slight potential for Home Alone to be the winners of this fight, and it's going to be altogether removed by the fact that Turmo and Nami are just gods, man. They're just going to sweep forward. 34 seconds for them to get this cap. I mean,
this is still doable for Ego, actually. With a wipe, they can... With 20 seconds, this has to go fast. And Turmo's thinking exactly that. He's already in lobby here. They're going to get this cap down. And with that, we only give them 15 seconds. Which... and they're going to pick Gooseman up. They are going to get Gooseman. This is huge. 7 seconds. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Golden cap.
Wow, what a close game. 6-5 on the first map, 3-3 on the second. We're going to see Golden Cap coming out between these two teams. Who would have predicted that such a game would be so close? Like, I can't imagine that any of one of the casters before the game could have said that we'd have a really close game here.
I remember when people thought, maybe we shouldn't cast this game. You know, I don't think Home Alone's going to stand a chance against Ego. I think you guys are a little crazy here going for this. No, this has been an amazing game, and I'm so happy that I'm up at 4:30 in the morning when I have class in 4 hours casting this. So worth it. I can't even. This is just so good. You ready for golden? You ready? You ready for the Goldie?
And can we say to all of the NA and EU players who are still awake, and all the Australian players who are just hanging around in our Twitch chat, can we please get some of you to invite your friends? Just tell them that we're about to cast a golden cap while Ego play for, like, basically, their dignity here. I don't think any of them considered they'd be dropping a map to Home Alone. We talked to Namie the other night, and he said he was very confident about this game. They said they were quietly confident, I think. And I think they would really, really be desperate not to give up the round here. But on the other hand, Home Alone are going to be so hungry, and I think we are going to be ready for a huge golden cap to come, everything to play for. This map could actually be really influential in determining where people end up seeded later in the season, because if Home Alone have traded maps with, Can't Stop the Trump, which means if they can, even just trade maps with Cooking with Coolio, assuming that Ego can beat Cooking with Coolio and Can't Stop the Trump 2-0, they're effectively going to have locked up third place for the playoffs. So this map, not only is really important for the two teams that are playing in it, but has really large implications for the rest of the season. So I think that they're probably going to know that. They're going to know just how important this golden cap is going to be. And I think that I'm really excited to see what Home Alone can do with it, and whether or not they're going to thrive or choke under the pressure.
Well, and the other thing I wonder is how much scouting is going out. I think I saw Paulson in chat, and I wonder just how much Jasmine T is taking away from this game too. Seeing I think Ego, as we said earlier, is widely expected to be their competition, and just seeing either how poorly in their eyes that Ego's playing, or how well Home Alone's playing. This might be kind of an eye-opening experience for Jasmine T, and just thinking wow, this could be closer. I wonder how they're feeling about this. How would you feel if you're Jasmine T and you're watching this come down?
Well, I think the players on Jasmine, I think they are a level above Ego at the moment. I feel like they have probably better DM as a whole team at the moment, but also they're because they've been playing together for so long, they've really become very good at abusing sort of small timing windows. And I think that while they have that advantage at the moment, I wonder how much of that is going to continue into the late season. I feel like that any of these teams who manage to sort of stick together, and if these teams, especially if they're going to be committing themselves to a consistent practice schedule, they're going to be committing themselves to really learning how to play with each other, then I feel like Jasmine should be confident that they're going to maintain their top spot. After all, they're still considerably above Ego, and Ego, I don't think anyone can say that Home Alone are better than Ego. I guess there's definitely the potential for them to face new challenges.
I guess if we're really thinking about what Jasmine T is thinking, I can think of what at least one of their players is thinking. Easy season. Yuki's got worse rockets than Santa or something. I don't know. I forget what that whole rant was. I know it was focused on NA, but I'm pretty sure Brute would just be like, "Hey, yo, both these teams suck. We don't even have to worry."
Yeah.
Can we get him in here? That'd be entertaining. No? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we can just assume.
So, if you're wondering why I'm laughing, I have Kenneth sitting in my ear, and as soon as I started the sentence, "Can we get him in here?" I just hear no, 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 no. So, I think that's not happening. But what is happening is golden caps, and we've got the rollouts coming in here. Gooseman, I think it's gonna be pretty much on par with Turmo for this rollout. He actually beats him by a hair, but he eats the first sticky. So, not quite ideal, but really a good showing from Gooseman to open up this golden cap here. And we got some rollers sitting up there by Yuki. There's some spam going around here. Ego is sitting so far back on this one, though. They do get the first one. That's Aporia taking out Rocky. Aporia
Aporia.
getting Mercy too. He will be taking up a Jaiho, but that is big damage out of Aporia here, taking the soldiers out of the equation. And now we have Termo bombing forward, pressing the issue. He's at Demo Man, running in through that choke point, and that's going to force
they need to
Home
keep
Alone
going with
all
this.
the way back.
They know that they've forced Home Alone back to lobby. They're looking to get the position on the point before it even comes up. Scout in onto them, but Yui is going to win that duel against Faithless. Major Brett player, and now the Uber comes out. I really like this Uber actually. They managed to take down two Uber, but they've just made a miscalculation about how far away the Ego team is, and now Ego could be looking to counter Uber here. They do counter pop. Rocky is behind them though, which is actually quite effective. And remember, the Aporia's on Sniper, which makes it just a bit more awkward for them to be continually re-pushing. I feel like they really need to get into a position where Aporia can just hold an angle, where he can watch somewhere and just basically just lock off a push from there.
I'm glad we're having a little bit of a fight here, because I remember a Summer Cup game I casted where it was such a good game and Golden Cap was like a minute, but Aporia hitting a fat headshot and Jaiho going down here is not looking good for that. Goosen down here too. I may have spoken way too quickly.
Yeah, I don't.
Here.
You've just casted curse that. We're going to see Nami and Yuki moving into last. Nami takes down Rocky. They're going to push over towards the point. It's just Red Hawk up. Can he defeat all 6 players? He can't. That's pretty expected. We're going to see Ego take it 4-3 in Golden Cap, winning both maps 6-5, 4-3. What a close game, Dreamboat.
Shouldn't have spoken.
That is also very, very true. Dreamboat has actually just casters cursed Home Alone, and I really feel like if you're on Home Alone, you really have to be sending him a Steam message and saying like, what is going on? Like, that's just not acceptable. Anyway,
I've had 3 people add me in the short time that I've said that this isn't gonna happen. It's happening already. I'm getting people are adding the Instagram. Just roasting me here. Well, I'm fine with interviews, but I also want to crawl into a hole. It feels so bad for Home Alone.
I think we will have interviews. Ken, are you okay with that? All right, so I think Aporia wants to come in.
So I think the first thing we have to do is take credit for my win. Or my giving his team a win. But we don't have anyone here yet.
We're looking for, trying to get Aporia into here.
But I'm just gonna give some shout outs to the people adding me, telling me to KYS IRL. So shout out to Flying Buddy and Fuzem for telling me to die for cursing Home Alone.
Well, I think that's pretty expected. That's really just not an okay thing to do. Ken, do you want to try to get someone from Home Alone here while we have a chat with Aporia?
Well, I feel like we should at least focus our attention on Aporia for a while. Oh, and then we got Yui coming in here too. So.
Anyway, Aporia. So you guys,
Hey.
you finally managed to win that game. 2 extremely close maps, 6-5 and 4-3. Are you guys a bit relieved after that game?
Yeah, man, that was an ordeal. I think that was not what any of us were expecting going into that game. But it was fun. I'm glad it was close, and even though it's a nightmare to play and doesn't do a lot for confidence for later in the season, it's more fun to play those games for sure, and there's lots to learn from, so that's good.
They always say that a champion team is one that can play can play like sort of a bit substandard and still win. And so I'd say that you guys did that tonight. Maybe you guys weren't playing like your 100% A game, but you guys managed to get there in the end. And that's, at the end of the day, it's still a 2-0 result. Do you guys think that...
Look, we haven't spent that much time scrimming these guys. When we do, I think it's been a little less close than that. But definitely a shout out to the way they played. I think they played pretty tight, and their scouts were causing some difficulties for us. Especially on mids, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. If you look at process, we lost 8 of the 11 rollouts, and all 8 of them involved a full wipe with Josh dying as well. So, I mean, from our perspective, process was like, the mids were messy, but then like phase play, I felt like we had a fairly decent control on. We managed to defend last a few times with full disad, which was good, and in general, like once we got off our last point or like resolved losing the mid issue, process kind of came together a bit more. And as for Sunshine, it definitely does come down to us playing a little bit loose. We're still not too experienced on that map, and in general, not too experienced as a team yet. We haven't played enough with both Namie and Faith because for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been like cycling through scouts trying to find something that would work. So hopefully, as the season goes on, that continues to get better. I mean, lots of our mumble tonight was us talking about what we wanted them to be doing differently or what we needed to do differently in general. And so I think, I don't know, I'm pretty confident that we'll get there. That was a fun game.
And I think it's safe to say, with the way that some of you guys performed tonight, that you're pretty happy with the decisions you made. Or am I wrong now?
I mean, no, we are. Namie and Faith are doing well, especially for the limited amount of time and honestly effort that we've put in so far. We've been talking a lot about going through games and demos and their matches and all of that kind of stuff, and for whatever reason people have been busy and we've only done it a couple of times. So far, like the way they've improved and started playing together a bit more over the past 2 weeks or so is really all on them, and that's a good sign. I mean, it really does take a lot of individual effort to get good at this game, even though it's a team game. So hopefully for the future, that's good. As for tonight's performance, I think there are situations where everyone can be playing better. And I don't know whether I would say that was necessarily like... I don't think anyone played like great and picked up the slack either. I think just in general we all have things to work on, and we'll have to move from there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to flick it over to some of the guys from the other team. Home Alone, we've got Mercy in here.
Hi.
And we have Yui.
Yo.
So we have the Roamer and Scout from Home Alone. So what did you guys think of the game? Are you guys maybe a little bit disappointed not to have won either of the maps? Or do you guys think that this was probably the best you could have hoped for?
Personally, I'm very satisfied, although it was obvious that we potentially could have won. But yeah, I'm still very happy with the result. We're still in like a really good mood even after losing, I think. And the game was really fun. Well played to them.
Yeah, well,
I had lots of fun playing.
I don't think either team could dispute the idea that this game was really close, and maybe at the end sort of came down to who ended up getting the favorable trades at the end. Do you guys think that you guys really stepped it up tonight? Do you guys think that we talked to Aporio before, and he said that this had been a bit unexpected for them, and that you guys hadn't been doing so well against them in scrims? Do you guys feel like you stepped it up tonight, or what do you think was the difference maker?
I feel like on mids, Mercy was definitely the star of the mid, in my opinion. I feel like we were really we were able to go off his aggression really well, and because of that, I guess we had, although they had Terme, we're getting fucked, but I guess it's still pretty good.
Yeah, this week, unlike the previous week, we're kind of messy because we're missing Roit. He was on a holiday in Sydney, and he couldn't play for 2 weeks almost. And yeah, we're kind of using Mercs for the past 8 scrims or so.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually have it together, and our demo was lagging, and he still is. So it's kind of he's struggling to play, but hopefully he gets that fixed soon.
How do you guys feel that your Mercs went tonight? Obviously, you had the big sort of Rocky Pocky on Pocket.
Oh, I think
then Jaiho.
Yeah, I'd say they both played very well. To be honest, I don't think we would have I don't think we can blame the loss on them or anything. Obviously, Rocky played incredibly well, I'd say, and so did Seth. He played the flank scout role very well. He wasn't taking heals, and he was still getting frags. And you can see him at the end of the fight getting 2 or 3 frags every time, and cleaning up.
Yeah. So what's in the future? I'm sort of throwing this out. We have been joined by Namie, who some of you guys may know, who's one of the scouts for Ego. How do you? This is directed to the Ego guys. How do you guys think that the rest of your season shapes up? Do you guys think that you can sort of make some big improvements? And if so, where do you think those improvements are going to be made?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably the biggest improvement is getting our scouts up to speed, not in terms of individual performance. Both of them have proven that they can perform, and it's just about getting them to do that consistently. It's more just having them play effectively, within our team. Sorry, same for Josh playing medic.
Yeah.
Because I think the big thing for us is me, Yuki, and Termo. We have pretty high expectations, and a lot of the time those expectations rely on we just expect people to make the decisions that we would make in the same situation, and when that doesn't happen, it causes some friction. So I think that's probably the big thing that we need to improve on, just overall team play and getting these guys to into a position where we can rely on them and they feel like they're having some control over the game, and instead of just being kind of pulled around and hoping to do their best in each situation that we get into. We're definitely focusing most of that kind of work on Brute's team as well. I mean, honestly, playing you guys tonight, it didn't feel like you were better than Brute, obviously, but it felt it felt harder for us to keep a good handle on the game than it did against Brutalix, just because we have been scrimming that team so much and kind of focusing on what we're doing on beating them. It kind of changed things when you guys were playing very differently to what we're used to now. So I think that's really the big thing we need to focus on. Just more team play, better team play, and just playing together as much as possible, and just more experience, pretty much, I would say.
Yeah.
So I always like to ask this of the people in the match. Just what moments, do any of you guys have a moment that stands out to you? It's just kind of memorable.
Yeah, I do. I got levitated by Mercy and then airshot, and then I spawned, and then I ran to the fight again, and I ate a random pipe and got directed by Mercy again. So it was a lot of fun dying to projectiles in that match. Good classes.
I think for me, I jumped Josh at least 3 times, and I hit him for 149 or so. He must have survived on less than 5 health 3 times in the Sunshine game, I think. And I actually called mid down before he even died, and then I realized that he didn't die.
The one I loved, Mercy, is there was one where you bombed in and you got levitated by a scout, but it actually allowed you to hit 2 rockets onto
Oh yeah, near Sunshine second, I think?
Yeah, Sunshine second.
Yeah, I remember that moment.
that was definitely another standout of Poria. I do have to say, I love that little exchange that you and Red Hawk had on Sunshine. Where he credits you with the nice air shot, and then the next life he frags you with a crossbow, which you give him credit for.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a typical experience for me, right? Not the airshot part, the dying on last just before it caps. It's the eternal getting bratted, as it is known by the players in my team, as it's been happening for most of the past 5 years. I'm not allowed to cap last, apparently. It's just not possible.
Well. And so I'm just going to throw this one over to, probably we'll finish up after this. This is the last question to the Home Alone guys. I'd say that tonight probably solidifies, I probably had you pegged as the 3rd strongest team in this competition for a while now. Do you guys think that you guys can consolidate on that for the rest of the season? Do you guys think that you can go into the playoffs as the 3rd seed?
Do you want to take it, Tui?
Oh, it's okay.
I feel like with Roy, not here, I can't be sure, but I'd like to say that we can.
You're definitely aiming for it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly.
And so, maybe what's going to happen if, Apura, you probably said that you guys might end up going into playoffs in the 2nd seed position. If that does end up happening...
Would I say that?
I would say you might...
Is that what I would say?
I would say it.
Just get ready for round 6, boys, alright?
Yeah,
Round 6?
I'm gonna surprise you all, drop the next 5 matches, and go in 4th place. You will be blown away.
So you don't want even Brute to make the final, really. It's an ultimate sort of BM act.
That's it, man. We're here to win.
I thoroughly... If you guys can actually do that, I would consider, I'll donate $100 if you knock Brute out in the first round of playoffs.
Now,
it's not even
speaking of
the first round of
Brute,
playoffs.
speaking of Brute, he's infamous for his I guess we'll put it away. I want to hear your best Brute impressions. Come on, you guys have to have something nasty to say. You guys have been so civil. It's time to unleash.
Honestly, I don't feel like much needs to be said, you know? They're a good team, and I think they've done really well to come as far as they have without any real teams to play against. And I think that's going to be the biggest shock for them. Maybe not us, hopefully us by the end of this season, but the difference between playing against the teams they've been playing and playing against like real high-performing teams like IM was in the past, or most of the international teams are, it's a totally different game, and they get away with so much at the moment that I don't think they will in when that does eventually happen. So I don't feel like there needs to be too much said about them or why Brood is infamous or anything like that. When they prove that, then I think all they deserve is respect, and until then, we'll have to wait and see.
They have my full support. I'd donate to see them at top 58. I'd love to see them win.
Come on, this is like
No, nothing nasty to say, to be honest.
like one of your team's name is Ego. You can't even whip out some ego here and be like, "No, these guys suck. We're so much better."
I think they've done a pretty good job of sort of
It's
diffusing
not
the
even
questions.
close enough.
I
Come
think
on.
we're probably going to go to
So disappointed.
we're
You guys
gonna
are such a letdown for your name of Ego.
before like like Australians, we just don't really shit talk each other. Like we're very civil people as
Yeah,
opposed to the
definitely.
Canadians. Like
Definitely do.
personally, I've never said a bad word to anyone. I don't think I've ever insulted anyone in my life.
I don't know
And
about
with
that, Fear.
On that bombshell, I think we're going to go to shout outs. So we're just going to go down the bubble. Aporia, any shout outs from you?
Just the usual. The old Big Mumble, which is now Salami Pirates. My team. My dear friends that refuse to play with me anymore because they're over TF2.
At Snowblind?
And the other team. Yeah, Snowblind. Sheep.
The
Fucking
5HP.
Bonobo being in England. Come on, guys. Try harder.
Bonobo, England, I-58. Are you letting this? Is there going to be some of that? Can you give like?
No, we're not
some
going to do
rumor?
that shit again,
Juicy.
man. Me being overseas for 2 months last year was bad enough. Need practice.
Okay.
Alright, and let's go to Mercy.
Shout out to Rocky for murking. And shout out to Putty for his encouraging words. Too bad we didn't win.
Namey.
Yeah, shout out to my dad, Raj, who's watching the stream. Hey, dude. Shout out
Sup,
to
dude?
Enrith. And that's it.
Yui.
Shout out to Anna. Shout out to
Oh.
J Blades. Shout out to Rocky for those big middies today on Sunshine. And shout out to Athena.
Over to you, Dreamboat.
Gotta give a shout out to a couple of my NA boys who stayed up. I saw Big Rolling Wheel and 16 Jacob J in chat. So a big shout out to those guys. Of course, everyone who tuned in here. I'm glad that you managed to put up with my antics for 2.5 hours. And of course, to both teams, your shit talk game is weak, but your performance is strong, and you guys put on a hell of a show for all of us. So thanks for coming out here.
Yeah. And I'll just quickly give a shout out to Dreamboat and Kenneth. Dreamboat for obviously managing to talk to me for 2 hours without hating me yet.
I
shout out
hate you. I just fake it.
Damn.
Again, shout out to Kenneth for doing a great job on the production, and for all the TF Live crew who've helped organize these games. Shout out to everyone who's still watching TF Live games, despite the fact that I've casted 3 of them this week, and I know you guys must be getting very tired of that. Shout out to Home Alone and Ego for another great game. Thanks for making it so close.
And shout out to my parents who are inevitably have been woken up by me shouting at 3, 4, and 5 a.m.
I also would like to shout out to particularly one of Dreamboat's parents.
My dad?
Yes.
He's a good guy. Oh, and let's throw it to Kenneth. I think you guys can hear him. So
Hello.
have some Kenny shout out.
Hey,
everyone's most
I'll
hated
just
admin.
quickly shout out the admin team: Dev0, Blades, Lammy, Red Hawk, Tonberry, Shrek, Fierasar, Griever, Brodogs, Magic, Geomanus, No Mercy, Rhinoceros, Tom Sawyer, and WM.
And Chase, I feel like.
And Chase.
Oh, okay. Have a great evening, everybody. Drive safe. Tune in for more casts in the upcoming week. And also tune in to our TF Live panel next Friday. That will be 8.
Yeah,
See
awesome.
you guys then.
Shout out to Beaver TV.